you guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades as per usual. Let's dive into some analysis here. So, GameStop, what a day. Nice day today, huh? Good earnings, good after hours price action. Could be getting some follow through tomorrow. So, is this the start of something big? Or is it just setting up for disappointment again? And then tomorrow is everyone's going to fade it and it's going to crash all the way back down. We don't really know. And tomorrow's PPI as well, right? We got some PPI data coming out right at, let me just take a look here, 8:30 a.m. I believe. Yeah, 8:30 a.m. PPI data is going to be coming out. So that's probably going to be a market moving event, but probably not as much as the CPI, which is going to be on Thursday. So those are two big data points for the markets this week. And overall, again, this has been a pretty big buy range for GameStop. We've been kind of just chopping sideways since June. Now we're like in September, and we're starting to see some price action, right? You can see here on the, sorry, I'll just take a look at the after hours data. So you can see the after hours, we had a pretty strong move higher and, you know, big pop and then came back down, but it's actually started to climb higher. So let's see if we get some follow through tomorrow. If we do, that'd be great, right? And then we could finally start to call maybe some of these moves that we've been getting, like a potential like 1-2-1-2 setup, which would be pretty bullish indeed. But yeah, like I said, we need to see follow through, and until then, we don't really have any trades, right? We don't, or any direction, and we'll take a look at the indicators, see what they're saying. So let's start off with Market Cipher. So Market Cipher showing us, you know, it was looking pretty grim when we were starting to trend lower. Red money flows coming in, and the momentum wave was starting to open up. But last week we actually we closed with a green dot, a pretty neutral candle. This week we're starting off with some pretty bullish numbers, a 17 and a -5 on the dual band strength index. The momentum waves are curling back up. You got red money flow. Unfortunately, not the best because it's kind of like inwardly curving. Usually you want this to be outwardly curving, but you know, it's not the end of the world. So keep an eye on that. After that, that's pretty much it on the weekly. We'll take a look at the daily. We'll take a look at some other time frames too, but usually I like to stick with daily. Daily was starting to fall into red money flow, but really didn't see any follow through. And then we got mixed signals, long short signals, right, dipping down and kind of indecisiveness. And now you're starting to see us cut back into green money flow today, or maybe the last couple days, like on Tuesday and Monday, and now, you know, we'll get a Wednesday candle. Hopefully should be green with some bullish dual band strength index numbers, and we'll see this start to come out and maybe break this moving average at 24.61. After that, 4-hour time frame also cutting into green money flow, but again, kind of at the zero line. We need to see some decisions start to come out, and nice green money flow on the 1 hour, actually increasing very nicely. Big increase in green money flow here at the close, and some very bullish dual band strength index numbers. So I don't want to get into the super smaller ones because it doesn't really matter for the bigger picture analysis, which is again very bullish for GameStop in my opinion. And weekly looking good. I mean, nothing has really changed since these green crosses. 3-day to 4-day. Oh, there you go. So you got the 4-day green cross. You just combine 4 daily candles, and you got a green cross at the moment. Let's see if anything comes out of this. The daily looks like this big buy here kind of marked the low, and it's GameStop's been trending higher. But I want to warn people for maybe a potential bearish scenario that could happen if tomorrow we open, we gap up, and then it gets faded, right? Then you still have another buy setup that's a little bit lower, but obviously this target could change. So it's always good to have an idea of where this could go. In the case that the C wants to extend more, then you could do something like this, where it's like a 1, 2, 3 extended 4, which is, in my opinion, unlikely, but this could happen. And if it wants to, yeah, come back up from these levels, like, then you would call this some sort of like complex X or something, and the target is between like 25 to 27, right? Of getting rejected. So if the bearish scenario is going to take place, then you should get rejected somewhere in this area, and then you can start to project a fifth wave to come down lower and take out these lows, which I don't think is, the setup at the moment. What I think is the more likely scenario, we'll get rid of this box right here, because this could change the outcome. The target could change depending on what the GameStop does. But yeah, at the moment, you can see here, if it gets rejected, then this is where you want to look for. If we bust through this, most likely the low is in, and we're not going to revisit these levels. And this bigger area was your opportunity to load up, right? Just like we loaded up here and here and here before these nice runs, and then you can start to take profits or whatever and make some money, and then reaccumulate at some other levels. Like when we came back down here, I think we took some longs. We tried to front run the area, which kind of played in our favor because we never hit this target, right? This target was never hit. So then the price started to surge higher, right? It went to like 35 after that. So let's see what happens tomorrow. If this is gonna play out, I'm hoping we actually bust through this and close green above like 27, but that's a tall order, right? It's like 16%. But we'll see what these warrants are gonna do, and we'll talk about Bitcoin right at the end. Some people were saying I was talking too much about Bitcoin, and so we'll do that a little bit less. Now we'll talk more about GameStop. And yeah, the smaller time frames. I mean, I don't really have much else to say other than that. I like to look at the bigger picture, larger time frame signals. Yeah, so let's review the Bitcoin chart real quick, just because they do hold a Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and the Bitcoin chart could maybe give us some insight on where GameStop is headed. So I'm seeing right now, just really quick, like in the crypto space, the sentiment is pretty negative right now in Bitcoin. It's like it's gonna crash. Like a lot of these guys that I just follow, just to get like an idea of the sentiment, because they got so many followers, is the top is in, and that what, I called it, so you heard it here first, and like they're screaming this after the fact. It's always after the fact. It's never like, I think this is the top and I'm shorting. It's like maybe this is the top, and then if it does play out, then like, how I called it, and all these guys do that. So I'm thinking like maybe Bitcoin actually does get another like higher into like this area, into the 140s, to the maybe even exceed this target area and get into the 170s or 200, right? And gets to some nosebleed levels where all these guys delete all their posts, and everybody starts to get bullish, because right now the sentiment is not very good in crypto. And you know what? GameStop actually looks, from the stream that I was looking at, the guy that was reviewing the financials was saying that they actually took a loss, or they are holding an unrealized loss on Bitcoin. And actually, even some of my previous posts, I was saying like, did they accumulate more Bitcoin at these levels? And then so a lot of these comments were like, I can guarantee you, like, if they bought Bitcoin at these levels, they bought the top, right? And this and that. And, I really don't think that's the case. Like, I really don't think like this is the highs. I really think that there's another like higher coming in crypto. And same thing goes for like the traditional markets, which continue to trend higher and make new all-time highs, right? The Nasdaq, the S&P, and the Dow Jones. The Russell is lagging, but again, the most shorted indice at the moment, so it's not gonna last too long, and I think it's gonna get a short squeeze into new all-time highs. So hopefully that's when maybe GameStop starts to perform as well, and we'll keep a close eye on it, and we'll cross our fingers and see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, let's see, guys. Thanks for the support as always, and let's continue to buy the dip. Let's go. I haven't said it in a while, but let's go get our boys that bought the top in here. We gotta go get them. Someone bought the top at 120, right? An order needs to be filled. In order for someone to buy, someone needs to sell. So Someone bought up here, and someone got got a sell order right at the top. So we'll go get them at 120.75. All right. Have a good evening, everyone. Peace.